Now, only on 12 News, a one-on-one interview with Governor-in-Waiting Dan McKee. The Lieutenant Governor previously disagreed with health officials over who should be included in the next phase of vaccinations.
McKee wanted teachers to be prioritized. They weren't. I caught up with McKee after today's Phase 2 announcement, and he says he and the health department are on the same page. Lieutenant Governor, thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, happy to be here.
We learned this afternoon that the Department of Health will not be prioritizing people for vaccinations based on their occupation, but instead based on their age, underlying health conditions, geography. I know you had been a big advocate for getting teachers prioritized. Were you disappointed in the decision not to elevate people based on their jobs?
First, Dr. Nicole Alexander-Scott, we've been meeting really regularly, which has been good in the last week, along with the General Callahan, Chris Callahan. So I think it's good that actually in the response today that we were talking about teachers. So when we did the data, I think it's 58% of the teachers are in that catch basin, right? That catchment basin. So that's going to be good. And then almost 2/3 of the teachers that are K through 3. So I think this is a really good start. And what my point was that. And I said it, you know, more than once, was this is not for teachers to step over seniors who have age and other health conditions, right? You know, are very clear about that. But we know that the vaccines are going to come to our state quicker and quicker. Mm-hmm. And so the thought is that we need to be prepared when that happens. So I think that, and also if we can find some other sources potentially, it's good to have put that on the table as being a priority.
Do you think maybe you gave teachers false hope, though, by getting out there multiple times saying teachers should be prioritized? Do you think maybe the broader group of teachers thought this is going to happen?
Well, well, first of all, they know about the amount of supply we have and the demand. You know, it's not going to happen overnight. But I think that the encouraging thing for them is that they're in the conversation now, right? They're in my conversation. They're in today's presentation today. So that's really progress, and we'll keep on trying to find ways to accelerate that.
There's been some chatter that maybe once you officially become governor, you'll have a little bit more power, and you might change the prioritization in the vaccination phases and maybe put teachers a little bit further in front of the line. Is that something that you would consider doing once you're sworn in? Well,
I think that the age and the 65, I was talking about the 65, and we're starting to talk about age 65 now, and as you said, the geography, the health conditions, that makes a lot of sense, because we're trying to make sure that we don't have hospitalizations and God forbid, deaths. So that has to be our number one priority as we try to tackle this, you know, this enemy, this COVID-19. But I also think that the point is that the teachers, to me, are important. They're very important to be in the classroom. And we know it's not the only thing that will get them in the classroom. Our classrooms, you know, are historically right now shown that they're being safe, right? They're safer than most people believe. But this extra factor, I've been talking to teachers in other states that have got the vaccine, and they have felt like so much weight off their shoulders that they would go into the classroom. So this is still a priority on our part, and then we're talking to national people right now that it's a priority to them as well. So we'll see what happens. You know, in that case, I don't want to overpromise, but I think that we are working on things that will accelerate that, you know, the teachers, at least in the first K through 3.
I know you've been a big advocate for small businesses, and today we learned that the state is going to lift the early closure restrictions for businesses like restaurants. Did you push for that?
Yeah, that, and I believe we're going to, you know, continue to push for incremental flexibility in all our businesses that have been asked to, you know, been restricted, you know, to keep us safe. So I think you're going to see more of that, but I think it has to come in on the, you know, on the facts, the science. It has to really rail in because we can't afford to have infection rates. We've got to control those. We've got to make sure the vaccines get out as quickly as we possibly can, safely, and the hospital rates need to be contained because we can't have an overburden on our hospitals, right? And as I mentioned before, that mortality rate, we want to make sure we're minimizing that. But I think that we're going to have this incremental flexibility in the space. I think that I think it was mentioned today that they're going to be able to get up to their normal operating hours in a restaurant. We're still at 33%, I believe. I think that those things still could be addressed based on how we make out when you look back on, you know, a week or two on where we are and what's the impact of that.
So potential next step could be increasing occupancy for restaurants?
I think so. I think that we should be looking at everything, talking to the, as I have, right, talk to the people who are operating the businesses and get a sense on how much responsibility they want to take, all right, and then what's the trade-off for those restrictions being lifted, and how we can make sure that we control the infection rate.
And we will share our full conversation with Lieutenant Governor Dan McKee online a little bit later tonight. We'll also have more of my conversation coming up on 12 News at 5 and 6.